Hello everybody, welcome to Gregsbeerreviews. Let's go see what's in the fridge today. Hello everybody, welcome to Gregsbeerreviews today. Thanks a bunch for stopping by, I do appreciate it. Today's beer comes from Four Quarters Brewing. This is their Morning Star, which is an Imperial Stout. This was sent to me by my beer brother Greg. These guys are up in Vermont. They do make some tasty beers, but they have a problem with dating their stuff. We did one of their beers yesterday and it was stamped in black on a black label. That doesn't work. This one doesn't have anything stamped on it at all. I guess I think since it's an Imperial Stout, it's not important. But this has cold brew. This is an Imperial Stout with lactose, which is an unfermentable sugar, which makes it sweeter, maple syrup, coffee beans, and cold brew. So it has coffee in it, guys. Coffee's like hops. It fades over time. These have a date on it to know how fresh it is, so you can drink it fresh. That taste is going to fade if you don't know if it's 1 month, 6 months, 12 months, or longer. They need to put a vintage on it anyway, just a year. The month and the year would help to let us know whether it was done in January, July, December, or whatever year it was. He writes in this from Four Quarters, first stout that he has had from them. So Greg, probably the first stout that I've had from them since I rely on you guys to send me beers that are only available in your particular neck of the woods because they are not available here. So, and this is a fairly big beer at 9%. It's going to keep for a while, but the coffee is going to fade, guys. It's just the nature of the game. That's the way it is. It's like hops fade and IPAs and double IPAs. So I wanted to get to these Four Quarters beers pretty quick because of their dating process and not knowing how old their beers are. So just got the beer mail package from Greg. So let's find out what this is going to be about. Even if it's a 10 beer with no date on it or no vintage, it's not going to get a 10 from me, guys. Imperial Milk Stout with lactose, coffee beans, and cold brew. So it definitely has coffee in it, so it needs to have some kind of vintage on it. Month in the year, especially since it has coffee, so you wouldn't want to if it was brewed in January, you wouldn't want to have it in December because the coffee is probably going to have faded substantially. A lot of the times, not always, but a lot of the times the coffee will fade over time. So 30 IBUs according to Untapped on this, so it's not a big bitter beer, especially for a 9% Imperial Milk Stout. So it's what it is. If this was sitting on the shelf at my beer store, especially since it has coffee in it, probably wouldn't pick it up. Even if it's a 10 beer, I got to know a little more information, and they refuse to do that. So I probably would refuse to purchase it, and it would sit there until some other sucker comes along. And and that's how they feel a lot of times. I mean, if you don't buy it, somebody else will. And you'll have that mentality till everybody tries it and doesn't like it, and then they stop buying it. So I don't know how you could weigh that out a lot of times. If there's enough people, we're going to sell it, we don't really care. So if you have that attitude, so be it. So we got the IBUs, we got the ABV, we don't have a vintage date or anything like that, so let's get it into the glass and see what we got. Final beer of the evening for me. Very black coming out of the can. Let's stand it up. Doesn't look like it's producing a monster head of any caliber. There's just a tad left in there. Right at a finger of head on there. A very nice looking beer. a very good looking Imperial Stout. Not any light coming through the glass, maybe a little bit of light red rubbiness through the very thin part down here, but not much. Good looking beer. So let's find out. To the nose we go. Smells good. Rich roasted malt. Nice sweetness on the nose from the lactose. And I am getting the coffee. Hopefully we got a fresh one here, guys. And in a lot of places, these guys can buy fresh beers, even if it doesn't have a date on it. Because the way it rotates and people buy it, it moves off the shelf and it works. Around here, it doesn't work. It's very easy to go to a store and have a beer that's 6, 8, 12 months old or 2 years old, and it's still sitting there. And a lot of places are that way too. So if you're in one of those locations where the beer moves quickly and you get tasty, fresh beers all the time, you're lucky. You're lucky. It doesn't work that way around here in Virginia, especially this part of Virginia. Very, very rarely. Nice, pleasant aroma. Thanks again, Greg. I do appreciate it, sir. Cheers. Very nice coffee notes. That's a very, very pleasant beer. Nice creaminess to it. Definitely getting the lactose, a nice sweetness to the beer. Doesn't seem to be too dry. A very pleasant Imperial milk stout with coffee. Just a slight hint of some metallic notes in there. But I got a feeling that's probably going to fade away as it warms up to room temperature. It's right out of the fridge, it's cold. You get that a lot of times. Back in pour. I don't think it's going to change the appearance at all since it's so very dark. But we got everything out of the can. And guys, it's time to do what we always do. We're going to go sip on it for a while. Got a stogie out on the deck. I'm going to puff on while this comes up to room temperature, and it's pretty warm out there. It's about 90 degrees at about 8 o'clock in the evening. It's still kind of warm out there, so it won't take long for it to come up to room temperature once I go out there. So let's go do that, sip on it for a while, and we'll be right back. Alright guys, I'm back. Been sitting on about an hour. Nice lacing us up on the glass. Tasty beer. Fingers crossed, we got a fresh version here. No dating whatsoever on the can at all, which is a no-no. If it has coffee brewed in the brewing process, that's going to fade over time. So not knowing how old the beer is, you're taking your chances picking it up. So, and it is in distribution. It does go out to the beer stores. So would not buy it here, guys, if it was available here, because it has no date or vintage on it. Don't know how old the beer is. So, with that being said, it is a tasty beer. The coffee's there, roasted malt is there, nice sweetness from the lactose. Decent beer. I don't know. A- beer to me, guys. 92 from me on this one. It would get a better grade if it had some kind of vintage or date on it, monthly, year, to know how old the beer is. So it's what it is. Can't control that. Over to Beer Advocate, they say 93, pretty close there. And over to Untapped, they have it at 4.16. That's in their A- scale also. So basically, it's unanimous. It's an A- beer, guys. It is a very tasty beer. I enjoyed it. Thanks again to my beer brother Greg for picking it up and sending it to me. A very tasty beer. A great final beer of the evening for me with the lactose in it, nice sweetness. Almost a dessert beer. Not quite to that category in my opinion, but pretty close. pretty close. So I did enjoy it. Very tasty beer. It is a well-made beer. The alcohol is well hidden for 9%. But they need to date their stuff, man. They need something that you can read. This one has nothing on it. Yesterday had something on it, but you couldn't read it. So they like to use these black labels and stamp stuff or print stuff on that black label, and you can't read it. This one doesn't have anything on it. Yesterday it had something on it, but I couldn't read it. So basically useless. Useless. So if you've had Morning Star from Four Quarters Brewing, let me know what you think. Till we meet again. Let's go see what's in the fridge. Maybe we'll get something with a date on it.